Γεια σου, σας είναι ο JohnyThan εδώ και καλώς ήρθατε πίσω στο 14 Days with You. Τώρα, είμαστε νομίζω ακόμα μακριά, για το τέλος είπα και αυτό είναι το τελευταίο μας επεισόδιο, τώρα δεν ξέρω τι, αλλά είναι ακόμα το demo υποθέτω και έχουμε κάνει τώρα πόσο, 10-11 επεισόδια με αυτό εδώ το παιχνίδι και δεν ξέρω πόσο ακριβώς μεγάλο είναι. Το μόνο πράγμα που ελπίζω είναι να καταφέρουμε να το περάσουμε, γιατί είναι απλώς πολύ μεγάλο και έχουμε κάνει πολλές συζητήσεις, έχουμε δει πολλές περιπέτειες, ρομαντικές στιγμές με τον Ρεν και με τους φίλους μας επίσης. Έχουμε μάθει επίσημα τι έγινε και την προηγούμενη φορά. Αλλά αυτό απλώς το παιχνίδι είναι τόσο πολύ μεγάλο που θα πάρει νομίζω για πάντα για τους δημιουργούς να το τελειώσουν. Και ποιος ξέρει πότε θα είναι έτοιμο. Μπορεί τα επόμενα 2 ή 3 χρόνια να είναι έτοιμο, να το έχουν τελειώσει τώρα, ποιος ξέρει. Γιατί αυτό είναι πάρα πολύ μεγάλο και θέλει πάρα πολύ ώρα για να το κάνεις. Αλλά τέλος πάντων, για να συνεχίσουμε εκεί που μείναμε. Hi Angel. Oh hey, you fancy meeting you here, sorry. The first thing I notice is how Ren is tugging at his sleeves again. Though he doesn't seem to shy away from my clothes, promptly for seem to mind it as much. Those fish were pretty neat, huh? Yeah, I could take my eyes off them. Hey, did you spot the angelfish swimming by? I was staring at the car. Ας πούμε αυτό. Sunfish. There were sunfish as well. I didn't even notice. Sorry. Δεν ήξερα τι να απαντήσω. I watches Ren awkwardly scratches his jaw before he turns to me with a lumsted smile and sparkle in his eyes. You know, I don't think I've ever seen a sunfish from the front. Really? Actually, you know what? I don't think I have either. I guess they look a bit silly, huh? Oh, that reminds me, I should have taken some photos. Photos for what for? So I can show them to Leon later. I'm sure he'd find them hilarious. It doesn't bother you know that he calls you a sunfish. I'm sorry, what was that? Nothing? Maybe sunfish. Ren immediately wipes his head around and almost smacks it into the glass in the process as he finds interest in the fish once more. Though I can tell he was genuinely feeling embarrassed with how bright his cheeks are. It was honestly cute. Still, now that Ren was right in front of me, I couldn't help but wonder why he was here in the first place. You know, I wasn't expecting to run into you here. Oh really? Yeah, no offense, but you don't really seem like an aquarium guy. Is that so? I didn't have any plans for today, so I figured I'd do a bit of under the TC signet to pass the time, sorry. Plus, I finished the book you recommended the other week, the one about the underwater city. I guess it inspires me to come here. Really? Did you like it? What did you like about it? I enjoy it, especially the part where, say look at that. Ren isn't shy about how he leans over my shoulder to point at something outside my perhaps vision. I follow his finger, and between the driftwood and coral I spot Eleanor and Theo standing awfully close together. I don't miss the way that Theo sizes up Ren, even from a distance, before he tears his gaze away from us with an inaudible scoff. A surprise sound escapes the back of my throat as I watch Theo unbelievably run hand down my co-worker's sides, but what truly shocks me is the way Eleanor boldly grabs his arms and loops her hand around it. No way! That's you, wow. I honestly didn't know she had it in her. And while her confidence shocks me, it also sparks a bout of curiosity inside of me as well, even though, well, we all established that this wasn't an actual date. Eleanor still wanted to treat it like one. But now that I really think about it, isn't this similar to the date I shared with Ren at the pyre as well? The next thing I know, I found my mind wandering to all them times I held Ren's hands as walked along the boardwalk, and right now it looked all too tempting with how it was casually resting against the glass. I could easily fit the palm of my hand in his, and I'm sure he would mind in the signif if I were to reach out right now and... No, come on, Angel, what were you thinking? Although, come to think of it, wasn't the one who intended most of the hand holding during the moment we spent together? Maybe he'd be okay with it after all. Should I move your hand away, hold her in hand? Sto kratimo heri tu. Before I can talk myself out of it, I reach out and slip my finger between Ren's palm and the glass of the tank. Sorry, his skin feels uncharacteristically coarse and rough against my own, but before I can question it, I brushed against something cold and metallic instead. Darning. A curious peek, I looked down and noticed a golden ring on one of his fingers. In fact, it appears to look vaguely similar to the one around his neck, but as soon as I opened my mouth to ask, Ren casually slips his fingers between my own to entwine them. He gives me a soft smile, almost as if he knew this was going to happen, before Eleanor's voice pulls me back to the present. Angel, there you are. Why didn't you say anything earlier? Theo, where pretty boy run off to? Princess over here said you had to leave earlier. And damn, if it isn't Buttercup. It's Ren actually. Not this again. Before the two can have the chance to butt heads, I carefully step in and interrupt. Something came up at the hospital, so Leon had to go. Oh dear, I hope everything is okay. He assured me that everything fine, so I wouldn't stress too much about it. I watched as Eleanor shuffles on her feet in contemplation before noticed them items still grasped carefully in her hands. That's a relief, but oh, what do you suppose we should do with his tickets then? Shall I ask for a refund? Fine, that's like loose change to me. I'll make it back in 45 seconds. Still, we should let it go to waste. Oh, I know. Eleanor expression steps from revelation to something more cheeky as she turns to me with a small knowing grin. She leans close enough to whispers but doesn't seem all that quiet about it. Here, why don't we give the ticket to your lover boy? Lover boy? You gotta be joking. Hehe. Should I tell ya all about how our lovely angel has a secret admirer? And how he often rents out their books from Eleanor! I feel like I'm missing some context here. Almost hastily I smashed the ticket from Eleanor's hand and Eustace ran inside the tunnel away from my godly co-worker and Theo's smug grin. I hardly noticed the time passing with all the fun I'm having, and before I know it, almost 2 hours go by in a blur. I've definitely been so fixated on being the third wheel that I completely forgot about the exciting things people could do at the aquarium. Eleanor seems all too happy to snap pictures of everything, ranging from Ren and I petting some strangest Theo getting splashes by a seal and all the giant sea creatures that swam around in the overhead ranks. By the time I noticed my feet starting to hurt, we had all made it to the small food cart conversely places at the end of the main attraction. Eleanor used this as an opportunity to use the restroom while Theo wandered off to who knows where, so Ren and I were left to look for a place for us all to sit down and rest. But we didn't get far before the light sound of footsteps drew closer once more. Angel, Ren, there you are. Sorry for the wait. I ran into Theo earlier while he was talking to one of the tour guides. He's a friend and I wanted to talk to him. You didn't need to wait for me. Oh, but you said you were lost and needed help with something urgent. Come on, princess. No need to act coy. Surely people say the same thing to you at the library, right? Well, yes, I suppose they do, but I don't see what that has to do with me waiting for you. Or acting coy, for that matter. You're adorable when you're clueless. Anyway, are either of you hungry yet? I'll pass none, and I'm worried Theo won't put his pride aside and admit that he's hungry. Excuse me? Oh, I'm wrong. I could have sworn I heard your stomach growling earlier. Tech. Now, who's acting coy? First of all, when did they reunited without me noticing? And secondly, was Theo embarrassed? There was no way I was going to let this opportunity pass. Is the big baby hungry? Is the big baby hungry? Didn't eat breakfast this morning, did you? I did, unlike you. I can afford to eat whatever I want. Though I came out blunt and harsh, I knew Theo was only joking. Then why don't I go and get us all something to eat? Any preference, allegiance I should be made aware of. Why do you care, princess? You plotting to kill me or something? It's only natural to worry about the health of others. I wouldn't want to give you something you are allergic to. Besides, everyone deserves to be cared for. You're weird. What was that? I said wasabi. I'm allergic to wasabi. Αλλάζεις τώρα το... Αλλάζεις τώρα το θέμα. Wasabi, huh? I see. And what about you? Lot of preference? Do you think they have any cakes? I've been having a really bad craving for it recently. Then in that case, I'll have a... Before I can voice my preference, Theo cuts me off by pulling out his wallet and handing it to my coworker Eleanor. Takes it from him without complaints, but wraps it with a curious look and a slight tilt of their head. Get whatever. I needed to have a word with Dollface over here. I don't get the chance to fully respond before Theo directs me towards the opening of the food court, but I barely get 3 steps away before I feel a gentle tug at my sleeve. Curious, I glance back only to find Rance sporting a pout on his soft features. Relax, Buttercup, you'll get them back in one piece. Now that I think about it, it was kind of out of the blue for Theo to be acting like this. I mean, since we did he ever want to talk about something serious? With that revelation in mind, I offer Ren a reassuring look and give his arm a comfortable squeeze. I'm sure it'll only be a few minutes. Oh! His eyes tickle between me and Theo a few times before it hands on my hand, still resting on his arm, and he lets out an inaudible sigh. Okay, I'll wait for you here. No, stay where Princess can see you, unless you want her to freak out and think we did shit. Her name is Eleanor, you know? Wow, amazing, whatever, come on, let's go. Without another word, Theo nudges me in the right direction, leaving Ren all alone and confused. Following closely behind, Theo leads me to a quiet corner near the food court before turning around and boxing me in his large arms. He actually leans his weight to one side before finally speaking. Hey, so I've got this fun idea. Seriously? I thought you wanted to talk about something urgent. Damn, Cold, you be a little less loud about it, and I was a matter of fact, yes I do. No, you always say I've got an idea and it turns out to be something illegal like trespassing our vantage. Isn't that the whole point of an idea? He was not serious. We are not about to discuss the logistic behind. Look, it's serious. I need you to help me make Ellie or whatever jealous. She's getting a bit too glinsky for my taste, and it might even get Buttercup to ease up on all that juvenile puppy love shit. You seriously don't think he's being too chingy? He's practically glued himself to your side the entire day. What? Don't you think that's kind of a rotten idea? How would this even benefit? Trust me, this is for my own benefit, not yours. Little Miss Princess over there is treating me like I'm damn child who needs to be supervised all the time, and I can't even tell if she's interested in me or not. Plus, you're not exactly no never mind. Either my idea works out and this gather gets more interest, or she's whistling not type B babies and backs off, while I had to jump through hoops and hurdles to that Theo did have a point, but everything about his idea felt wrong. regardless if I agree or not, if Eleanor saw us flirting, would she just assume that you're not interested in her at all? Ναι, για πες το κι αυτό. Besides, I'd never betray her like that. Who said anything about her flirting? Shit. You really are into me, aren't ya? Can't say I'm flattered all. Τι είναι αυτά που λες, έχω ήδη ένα αγόρι και είναι ο Ren, δεν είσαι εσύ. All I was gonna do was ignore her for a bit, make them think you're more entertaining or something. I mean, it almost worked with that tour guide from earlier. But if you wanna climb to my arms too, by all means, gorgeous, go ahead. You're so insufferable, so it is a yes or a no. I still don't know what you want me to do exactly. Theo gazed shift to something behind me before a light ignorance in his eyes as he sends me a shy smirk. Just follow my lead. I barely have any time to process his words before Theo places a hand on the small of my back and pulls me closer to his side. His voice is louder than usual, and it's then when I notice Eleanor and Ren slowly coming into view. See that strum over there? Looks like it's unlocked. Wanna go check it out? What are you? Come on, doll. You're really not interested in having a bit of fun? Loosen up a little. All of a sudden I feel my phone in my pocket, but just as I move to pull it out, Theo gives me a point look and I find myself stalling. Wait for Ren to notice you, Nep. The moment Ren notices my alarmed expression, he immediately starts to make a beeline towards Theo and I, but just as he gets cut off by a large family passing by, Theo's body covers him from my view. Okay, τώρα ο λόγος γιατί είπα τον Ren, θα σας πω γιατί. Άμα είμαστε δύο αγόρια με δύο κορίτσια και ο καθένας μας έχει ένα δικό του κορίτσι και δει του αλουνού το αγόρι να πηγαίνει με το αλουνού το κορίτσι κάπου, οι άλλοι θα αρχίζουν να ζηλεύουν και θα νομίζουν ότι κλέβεστε μεταξύ σας, ότι εσείς αγαπιούστε πιο πολύ από εμάς. Κάπως έτσι, ναι. Οπότε η καλύτερη μου επιλογή θα έλεγα να περιμένω με το Run, γιατί δεν θέλουμε τώρα να κάνουμε αστεία με τους άλλους και να πούμε ότι όλο αυτό το κάνουμε για αστείο ή να πούμε ότι θέλουμε να δούμε έτσι κάτι μαζί, γιατί αυτό μπορεί να απογοητεύσει ή να πληγώσει κάποιον. Οπότε πιστεύω ότι ήταν η καλύτερη μου επιλογή αυτή τώρα. Looks like we gotta hurry this up. Without waiting, Theo glimpsely tugs me along by the selves of my jacket and shoots the door behind us with a audible click. Darkness envelops to both of us as I strain to make out the sound of Theo's shuffling in order to pinpoint where he is. I seriously can't believe he robbed me into doing this. This is my side, don't cross that line. What line? The line I just drew with my fingers. Oh my god! Θα γραφίσεις τώρα και γραμμές για το σε ποια θέση να αντί. Theo, I can barely see anything in here. Well, almost even in my corner of the dark room, I can still make out the faint shape of boxes on the shelves alongside a dirty mop and cleaning supplies that Theo made sure to put me near. Shit, I hope I wasn't standing in anything. But just as I pull out my phone to use the flashlight and checks bright overhead light flowed me comfort space as Ren and Eleanor corners their faces appears from behind the door. Well, that was quick. Και τώρα είναι θυμωμένοι. Ren wasted no time in shoving past Theo to reach for me, only to take his place by my side and pull me into his chest. Because of this, I could hardly see Eleanor's or Theo's reaction. Could you talk to them outside? Couldn't you talk to them outside? I can particularly hear the venom dripping from Ren's tones as he harshly glares at Theo from over his shoulder. Who goes into a storage room just to talk anyway? Talk about singly, well, whatever, I got what I wanted. I follow Theo's gaze as he takes in Eleanor's flushes expressions before he throws an arm over her shoulder, takes the bag of food from their grasp, and guides her out of the closet. I can hear him mumble something about how adorable she looks with a pouting expression as the door shuts behind them. Tina ran. Nothing but silence is left in the walk, and it's then that I notice that Ren is still in the closest with me, nay, still the closest with me, peering down with an unbelievable expression. Did he hurt you? Do anything strange? No, Theo. Was just odd. I couldn't help but feel the need to explain myself. He just wanted a way to make Eleanor jealous, so he should just go into this closet with him. Nah, bravo. I swear nothing happened. Do you like him? What? Oh, baby. Do you like Theo? Oh, he. Why else would you agree to clevering who he was talking about? Still didn't listen to the confusion bubbling in my brain, and I can hear Ren's gasp, fingers around and shelf behind me as he tries to find the words to say. His breath comes out tragedy now, and his gaze isn't any less intense. No, I actually... No, I like you, nah, afto. I like you the most, Ren, nah. Ren lets out a sticking breath at his computer practically meets in front of me. His cheeks flushes a deep red, and he looks down with instant love-struck eyes before he closes them and rests his forehead against my own. But the action was fast and fleeting as his head eventually drops into the crook of my neck instead, and his hands remain against the shelf behind me. Me? Really? You really like me? Okay, me? You really like me the most? Fuck. Sorry. I need a second. Ren. He doesn't seem to respond. Instead, he simply stays rooted in place while his breath fans against my shoulder. I can almost hear the wooden shelf crack as his grip triggers before he pulls back with a determined glint in his eyes. As long as Theo didn't do anything to you, then... And if he did... Nah. I'll kill him. D? It was like the room got cold. All of a sudden there's an unsterling look on Ren's face before I quickly mumps into his usual soft expressions. Was I just imagining things? Just kidding. Okay. I can stay with someone, or something tells me he wasn't really joking around. Ποιος ξέρει. Ο Ren θέλει είναι δολοφόνος τώρα κάτι. Με τα νέα που ακούσαμε πάντως στην τηλεόραση για ένα νεκρό σώμα, μπορεί να ήταν ο Ren αυτός που να το έκανε αυτό. Δεν ξέρω τι να πω. Angel, are you okay? Was that really Ren just now? He's dark. Όχι, περίμενε. Όχι, ensured. Θα έλεγα αυτό. Δεν ξέρω ποιο να απαντήσω τώρα να σας πω. Θα πω αυτό καλύτερα. Ren, that was really messed up. Ναι. Ναι, είπα το σωστό πράγμα τώρα αυτό. Ren, that was really messed up. Ναι, δεν μπορείς να σκοτώσεις τον φίλο μου. You shouldn't joke around like that, especially when it involves my friends. Ναι, πράγματι. I was only kidding, Angel, really. I wouldn't actually do something like that. His blue eyes wiped out at that, and I can tell from his expression that Ren really was being serious in this moment. Sorry. It was a stupid thing to say. I wouldn't ever do it again, promise. Cross your heart. And hope to die? No, I mean... hope to die. Wait. I really need to start thinking before I speak. I was practically to blame for seeing Ren up like that, so I let him know by rolling my eyes and sending him a reassuring smile. Well, now that all are sorted, I think we should leave this GG storage closet by now, don't you? I mean, we've been in here for a while, and Nori has our food. I suppose we should leave, but I guess there's something sort of comforting about this closest, or maybe it's just you? Huh? Being the close to you, I like it. Where was this coming from suddenly? I can hear Ren's arms shift from beside me and move towards my face instead. His fingers hover close to my cheek, and for a brief moment I almost find myself waiting to lean into his touch to feel his warmth. But he pulls away at the very last second and instead rests his hands by his side once more. Ren, I don't want to be a hypocrite. He sent me yet another soft smile before stepping back and awkwardly tugging on the end of his sleeve. An hypocrite? What did he mean by that? Confused, I press him for answers. Και ναι, θα είναι νομίζω καλύτερη ιδέα να το σταματήσουμε μέχρι εδώ. Η αλήθεια είναι ότι θέλω να μάθω λίγο κι άλλο τι θα γίνει. What do you mean? I came here thinking Theo was putting moves on you to get a rise out of me. Όχι, τίποτα. If I'm being honest, part of me wants to think that he's still outside waiting for us to leave. I wanted to... He covers his mouth with his hands as he awkwardly shifts his weight from one foot to the other. Ren almost looks like his absence, and I can't tell if it's a within or losing battle in his mind. All I can do is offer him a reassuring look to let him know he can speak more freely with me. I mean, we did just have a heart-to-heart about the appropriate of murder a few minutes ago. Είναι αυτό που είπα. I kind of want to make him jealous too. Oh? I mean, I'm supposed to be paired up with you today, not him. He has no business trying to take you from me. Ναι, αυτό ισχύει απόλυτα. Not like he could anyway. He would remind me of the day at the pet when the pussycaster keeps trying to flirt with Ren. Ισχύει και αυτό επίσημα ισχύει. Ναι, μην το ξεχάσουμε και αυτό επίσημα με το ένα κορίτσι που ήταν ερωτευμένο με τον Ren και προσπαθούσε να του δείξει πράγματα και να προσπαθήσει να τον πάρει μακριά μου. Ενώ όταν ξαφνικά βγήκαμε από εκείνο το κτίριο και άρχισε να βρέχει και φιλήσαμε τον Ren, τώρα είναι δικός μας και δεν μπορούμε να τον αφήσουμε. Αλλά τέλος πάντων, εγώ λέω να το σταματήσουμε μέχρι εδώ. Έχουμε κάνει τώρα πόσα, 11-12 επεισόδια, αυτό τώρα είναι το επεισόδιο 12 και είναι μόνο το demo επίσης. Αλλά πόσο μεγάλο είναι αυτό το demo και πόσα χρόνια τους πήρε τους δημιουργούς για να το φτιάξουν όλο αυτό. Κανείς δεν ξέρει, θα πρέπει απλώς να περιμένουμε και να δούμε. Επίσημα, ανυπομονώ όμως πιο πολύ να βγει έξω το Subnautica 2 έξω. Μπορεί να το παίξουμε και αυτό το παιχνίδι μαζί με τους φίλους μας τώρα, αλλά ό,τι δείξει. Μόλις μας βγει έξω το Subnautica 2 θα δούμε πώς θα πάνε τα πράγματα. Αλλά για τώρα θα πρέπει να συγκεντρωθούμε σε αυτά που τώρα όλοι μας περνάμε. Αλλά τέλος πάντων θα σταματήσω μέχρι εδώ. Αν σας άρεσε, μην ξεχάσετε να βάλετε μια εγγραφή και να αλλάξετε αυτό το βίντεο, παιδιά. Και πάντοτε θα σας δω στο επόμενο βίντεο. Γεια σας!